right, welcome back, everybody, for this week's Wednesday watch list. This is my look ahead to the new comic books coming out this week on November 15th, 2023. These are some books that are already selling for a premium, some covers I'm looking forward to, some fun homages, later prints, and cheesecake covers and things like that I'm, again, keeping my eye on and figured I'd share it all with you guys as well. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel as we are getting so close to hitting 3,000 subscribers. Just inches away, inches away. I think we need like about 20 thereabouts. So we'll see if we can get there before Thanksgiving. And if we do, come Christmas time, we'll be doing a nice little fun round of giveaways. Maybe we'll do another 12 days of Christmas. I don't know. Got some fun stuff planned for the end of this year and next year as well. So hopefully you're on board with us. And if you want to see what books I got for you this week, all you got to do is hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so starting us off this week, let's hit up our buzz books. These are the books that, got a little bit of buzz going into this week as they are finally coming to release. The first one being Capullo's other Marvel cover. I know that Wolverine one took off when it came out, seems like forever ago now, but they had that special one per store released as well. Don't know if they're going to do that again here. I mean, it's a possibility. But regardless, we do have a pretty cool Deadpool cover that he is giving us on this Deadpool 7 Slaughters one-shot. That also comes with a hefty $9.99 cover price. So keep this one in mind too. So kind of like it, but for $10, I mean, it feels like you're buying a trade. And it ain't a trade. It's going to be a bit of an oversized book, I think. That said, multiple covers beyond the Capullo cover there on the cover A. We got, pretty cool Infinity Gauntlet. I think that's Ryan Brown doing that one. Got another fun one there on the right. A couple of more, including Frank Miller there in the middle which actually isn't terrible. I know I've been giving Frank Miller a lot of guff for a lot of these Marvel covers lately, but this is another one it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. And then we got the Mr. Garson one. I like those mosaic type covers what he puts together. So that's a cool one as well. Again, all of these are for cover price, which is a whopping $10. But that Frank Miller, as you can see there in the middle, is also being released as a 1 in 100 virgin version, which, it's all right. But again, not loving it, not going to be paying ratio prices personally. I mean, you guys do whatever you want with your wallets, but figured I'd put it out there. I just wish it was a little more centered, because I get it that a top space was left there for the trade dress, but you still could have centered them a little bit better for the Virgin release, because it just seems unbalanced. I don't know, just a lot of empty dead space at the top of the cover. So unless you're getting him to do a remark later or getting a signature or something put up to fill that space, it just looks empty. It just looks empty. But with that, not a lot of movement yet. But there was a pre-sale of a whopping $400. Granted, that was back in September. They might even have accepted a lesser price. I didn't go digging that deep into it because, again, that's September. That was over 2 months ago on that pre-sale. So it's not really that relevant right now. It's just giving you a baseline that some people do pay a premium for these 1 in 100s, including what they're asking, as I only found one asking a whopping $300 out of the UK. So more could come to market in the days ahead, but this is what we got so far as I'm filming this on Monday evening. Now, with all that said, there is also a pretty cool 1 in 25 Art Adams on this one as well. Art Adams has been doing a lot of really cool covers. I got a few of them behind me here. A lot of these 1 in 25s he's been doing lately, and they've been hitting on the market. This one seems to be in that same kind of realm, that kind of potential, even though it's not a sexy girl cover. It is Deadpool. He is still drawing some interest on this book. We'll just put it that way. Early pre-sales. Yes, $30 back in October. Yes, $90 also at the end of October, and then $60 on November 4th. So that was like a week or so ago. Prices all over on these pre-sales. Just keep that in mind. FOMO gets a hold of people with pre-sales, so you can't 100% count on it. So that's why we watch, look ahead, and then we see what happens once they actually hit shelves, copies hit people's hands, and see what they do with them. That said, asking prices right now are also, again, all over. There's as high as $100, and there's some asking more on that $40 to $50 range, all of which are a really nice premium over a 1 in 25. So keep that in mind as well. Nobody is selling this one cheap as of right now, but keep your eye out. You never know. Maybe you get lucky, and maybe your shop gets one, and you can get one for a decent price because it might be worth it. Might be worth it. Like I said, it's a pretty cool cover. It's zoomed in as he's been doing lately, doing these kind of like really zoomed in shots, so you're not getting full body, but not bad. Also, coming out this week, I put this in here because I thought it was a fun little crossover coming with Philadelphia, which is going to have a bunch of Spawn covers, which we've seen before. Spawn does draw crowds, and people might go looking for this book. And it's not on the regular Spawn title, it's on Philadelphia. So this one could be, one that people start grabbing off the shelves because they see all these cool, Spawn images. We've got, the cover A here. There's also a black and white version coming out. There's also, I think, a Matina and a Jay Lee, all of which very, very nice covers. So all cover price as well, not incentives. So just keep an eye on them. Who knows? We've seen cover price books hit on the market as of late. Remember Ghost Rider? It's possible. Not to say that's going to happen here. I'm just saying it could. And just if you like it, just go get it for yourself. That said, early buzz also on this Deviant title coming from Image. Yes, it is another Tinian. It is a Christmas story. Looks like some sort of crazed Santa of some sort. I don't know a lot about it. I'll admit that. But I do know there are a decent amount of exclusives already announced for this thing. So with that, be mindful you don't go paying crazy prices on some of these incentives because there are a bunch. This is the cover A. There's also a cover B, as well as, like I said, we're going to start the incentive train going here with the 1 in 10. So 1 in 10, a bloody Christmas ball. There's also going to be a 1 in 25. The 1 in 50 is pretty cool. It gives me sort of like an Eyes Wide Shut kind of vibe, like a sad clown. I don't know. 1 in 75 as well. Creepy Santa coming behind the Christmas tree. And to top it all off, there is a gorgeous 1 in 100 Libra Mayho cover. And again, we've seen this cover. This has been released. This is what started this early buzz. This cover right here. And it is a 1 in 100, which is a high ratio. But again, remember, there are exclusives, so there will be extra copies of this out there. So just don't go overpaying. Pay what you can. Just be mindful of that. Don't go chasing. Don't go chasing things. That's all. Early pre-sales have already hit this book over that $100 ratio mark at 125, 125, 160. See, even that, it's actually not too much over of a premium. Like 125 is not that much over that ratio price. Asking price is 160, 150, and like I said, 125. You can get it if you want to pay for it. It's out there. It's just, again, it's just a lot. It's a lot for me personally to go investing in a new release book, like on a Wednesday book. Like we're already spending, $50 just on regular, no, more than that. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're just getting a handful of titles just to read. You're spending $50-$60. Then you start mixing in incentives like this. I mean, who can keep up? It's like a car payment if you want to buy all these ratios. And meanwhile, all you got to show for it is not a new car. You just got a couple of comic books that may or may not have that same value, like a new car, as soon as you take them off the lot. Just keep that in mind. Also, coming this week, I couldn't be more excited. You guys know I'm a kid of the 80s. Big fan of G.I. Joe, and I'm looking forward even to this reprint because, yes, Skybound is reprinting G.I. Joe #1 here. Larry Hama, I think there might be some little extras added in as well. He's also given us a pretty cool Cobra version of this cover, which, again, I got both. I ordered both already, so I'm not going to miss out on this because, again, I'm a G.I. Joe guy, so I'm definitely getting this. And I'm also getting the continuation by Larry Hama in 301. New cover here. Multiple covers on this one as well, but not as many as I would have thought. I thought this one would have been loaded with like incentives, like that Deviant book, but it's not. As far as I can tell, there are exclusives. There are a buttload of exclusives. Keep that in mind too. A lot of exclusives out there. Buy what you like, but don't go investing, is my advice. But we got a black and white version. We got a B cover as well. We have a 1 in 10 with Serpentor in the background with Snake Eyes. Pretty cool. But with all those incentives, a 1 in 10 ain't going to be hard to find. So don't go paying too much of a premium on it. It's not even asking for much. It's right around that ratio mark if you want it. So just keep that in mind when you're out there on Wednesday getting your new books. Definitely looking forward to this. This would definitely have made my reading list, but I put it in the buzz section because a lot of people have been looking forward to G.I. Joe. Not just me. But on my reading list, since I mentioned it, there are a few other books that I'm going to have at the top of my reading pile come Wednesday that I want to check out, including Ram V's been doing a great run here on Detective. DC, has been taking a lot of guff because the movies, well, the movies haven't performed as well as they might have hoped. Partly because James Gunn's kind of cutting them off at the knees, saying how, well, this ain't going to continue once he gets the new universe started. So it's kind of, I don't know, like I said, kind of undercut what they could have done. But the comics, a lot of great covers, a lot of good stories too. Like it's just all around, DC has been doing pretty well on the actual comics. And with that, we got this pretty cool cover A, which I like. I like the framing they've been doing on Detective with the new trade dress title. I dig it. So I've been into it since they made this switch. There's also some good variant covers here, including this. I mean, that one right there with the wolf. It's an awesome image. It's just a really cool image. Definitely want to get that one. Doing these wanted posters on the 1 in 25. We had Azrael, I think, last week, and now we got Solomon Grundy on this week. And then there's a black and white version of that on the A cover for the 1 in 50. None of these are selling for above ratio, so we'll just note that if you like them, go ahead, you can pick them up. You can get them for as cheap as half ratio at a lot of places, even now, like they're available. So if you're into that, go for it. It's just buy what you like. Just don't try not to do too much investing when we're talking about these new releases and the new release variants, because it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. It really is. That said, this next book is probably not on many's watch lists or whatever, what have you, but I definitely want to read it because he is one of my favorite characters, and that character is Marvin the Martian. Been a big fan since I was a kid. I don't know why. Just thought he was funny. I liked him. I used to, when I was in high school, I had a green neon and I had a Marvin the Martian sticker like on the back trunk because I liked him. And I also had a little stuffed one that I had like buckled up in the back seat as I don't know why. I don't know. It was a dumb kid, but I like Marvin the Martian. That said, I like this. So I'm probably going to grab one just to flip through this and read this. And it's a milestone type issue. 275. That's a big number. It's a big number. So Looney Tunes 275. Go grab your Marvin the Martian too. Also, wrapping up, it took me a while to get into it. A lot of you guys kept recommending it. Big Game, Mark Millar's, his little epic crossover. I liked it. I liked it so far. It is wrapping up this week with issue 5. So we'll see how this thing ends. Again, I got a feeling with all this time travel, wibbly wobbly stuff that even though a lot of these characters got killed throughout this series, I think we're going to get a lot of them back. I mean, kind of Loki, Loki season 2. Not to spoil things, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, cover A here. There's a black and white version also going to be available, as well as a B cover. All of them look pretty cool. No incentives, but get this, read it, check it out. It does have a hefty $7.99 cover price, but I think it's going to be oversized for it being the finale. So it's probably going to be worth it. So it's definitely in my reading pile. Also in my reading pile, I have always been a big fan of Daredevil. So I'm going to continue on this new series. Issue 3 comes out this week. Yeah, JR doing this cover here. Fine. Other covers available as well. If you're interested, you can go and grab one of these other ones. If you don't like JR, including the Moon Knight, Knight's End, I've talked about those before. A lot of pretty cool Moon Knight covers going across a lot of different titles. So if you're into it, go grab them. And then we got that JR also is the Virgin version 1 in 100. See, this one's framed a little better. Fill that empty space at the top of the book. So I don't know. Looks a little better to me. That said, I'm still not spending $100 for a Daredevil 3 John Romita Jr. Virgin cover. It's just not something I'm going to do. And it doesn't seem like it's something a lot of people are going to do because no pre-sales as of yet, but there is an asking price at about $135. So a little over ratio. I don't think this one is going to be one that hits, but who knows? I'm going to keep an eye on it just in case because that's what I do. I mean, writing the CBSI Hot 10 list, I got to do it anyway. I got to keep an eye on all these books to see what sells, what doesn't, because I don't want to be passing off some bum information where I'm telling you, oh man, this book is so hot. And oh yeah, how many sold? 2. Wow, scorching. That said, still going to keep an eye on it. Still going to let you know. So, $135. Somebody's asking for one of these 1 in 100s now. We'll see what happens come Wednesday. But there is also a pretty cool 1 in 25 Granoff cover here. It looks almost like a video game rendering, but it's more painterly quality. If you really look into it, it almost looks like you see brushstrokes, etc. Some texture there in the paint look. Regardless, I dig it. I like it. But again, I'm a Daredevil fan, and I like Granoff as well. So you mix the two together, you kind of have my attention. That said, prices, well, one sold for under ratio at 17, another one sold for 30. Not a lot of movement yet on the pre-sales, but asking prices could be anywhere from as cheap as 15 to up to $30. Granted, that 15 bucks is also coming out of Canada, so you pay that $10 shipping charge. You're basically paying ratio, so let's just say this is right around ratio. But I still wanted to show it because I like the grant off, and I only wanted to show you that there are options. And as we get closer to Wednesday, more copies will appear. So yeah, try not to get FOMO. Be patient, and if you like something, buy it because you like it, and buy it because you can afford it. Don't go overextending yourselves for comic books. With that, I've talked about this other character many, many times here on the channel as well. I am also a big Silver Surfer fan, so I'm still going to be checking out and grabbing Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy #3 here. As we looks like we have the fallen one, Surfer, kind of going at it here. Cover A. There is also a cover B. There is no incentive to worry about on this one. Yeah, both covers are all right. I'll probably just go with the cover A because I'm a Ron Lim fan from the OG, my OG. Sorry, I wasn't reading Silver Surfer in the 70s because I was born in the late 70s. But that Ron Lim run, Jim Starlin stuff there in the 80s when Thanos kind of came onto the scene with the Infinity Gauntlet type times, that's when I got into Silver Surfer. So, with that said, I'll check this out too. And then one more book I got in my reading pile here is Superior Spider-Man #1 because, well, I didn't want it when it first happened. I'm a little curious of them coming back to it, so I'm going to give this a shot because they surprised me with the Doc Ock run before, so I'll give it a shot. See how the writing is, see where the story goes. I will once again complain about that Marvel's trade dress at the top of these books. It is ruining these comic covers. That said, the movie's getting a lot of guff. It was not that bad. I'm not saying it was the best thing in the world. It was just entertaining. If I had to give it a mark, I'd say it was probably a 6 out of 10, maybe a 6.5. Yes, there were some stupid parts. I will admit it. But there's also parts that I found enjoyable. I like the story. I like Kamala Khan. I like the camaraderie between the three, the interactions they had. And I liked a lot about the movie. It was just fun. It was fun to go to the theater and see something that wasn't too Debbie Downer or anything like that. But too many of you just ripping at it for no reason. I get it. You don't like it. You don't have to like it. But it is what it is. I will say, stupid border promoting the movie though is rubbing me the wrong way because it's ruining comic covers everywhere. Now, enough on that. This book also has other variants as well. Cover price variants like the video game one here. We got a Scotty Young as well. Pretty cool Ock reflection there in the middle. And there is an incentive, and it is a 1 in 50. And it is not just a virgin version of anything. It is actually new art. This is what I like. I like seeing more of this. Give me more attainable. Granted, I would have said just stick with a 1 in 25, but all right, went 1 in 50. Fine. Probably gonna be enough copies ordered because it is Spidey. It is a new #1, but give me more attainable incentives. Also, give me more original art. Don't just make a virgin version of some other book because it's just lazy. That said, the 1 in 50 pre-selling for under ratio at $33 or $60. So once again, you can see prices could be under, they could be over. With the asking prices, though, I mean, look at this. Yes, cheap copy by comparison at $56, but then the other copies are looking for $130, $160 for a 1 in 50. Might be doing a little fishing there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens come Wednesday. It is the Superior Spider-Man #1. It is a decent cover, but I wouldn't say it's a must-have. So I don't know. We'll see if it takes off or if it just kind of floats there. All right. Apart from all these things that I already mentioned that I want to read, there's still more that I could have put in here, but they're just going to end up in the new #1 section because there's a lot of new #1s coming out this week as well. And let's give them their little moment to shine. Starting off with Alien. Yeah, there's a new Alien coming, and these covers are really nice. If you like Aliens, there's some really good stuff. I mean, this is just the cover A. I'm digging this. We got Declan Shavley doing the series here, but check out some of these other covers. Like, look at that Bertram over there on the left. It's just the kind of infinity mouth of the alien kind of thing going. I just think it's awesome. I get it. It's a little monotone because of the colors, but so are aliens. So what are we gonna do? But I really dig that cover, and that 1 in 25, I think, is a Mike Mayhew. Is also pretty awesome. And then, well, again, lazy Marvel giving us a virgin version 1 in 100. But it is what it is. apparently aliens coming to Earth. It's going to be an interesting story. We'll see. This thing, pre-sales on this 1 in 100, just over ratioed about 120 bucks, and then a couple asking 125 and 200 listed right now. We'll see. Again, I don't know if this will be one that folks go gravitating towards, or if it'll just be another forgotten high ratio incentive that just gets found out there selling for super cheap as time goes on. I don't know. We'll see. All right, shifting over to DC real quick. DC's got a couple of new titles coming out. We've got a new Outsider starting, with Catherine Kane's Batwoman. I mean, a couple of covers there as well, and including that cover A there in the middle. So here's a couple other options for you, and a couple of incentives that also are not doing anything above ratio. So we'll just point them out, but not give you pricing on the 1 in 25 or the 1 in 50. Same kind of story here on Speed Force #1, also coming out of DC this week. Well, check this out. I mean, we've got some other speed characters to be, I guess, headlining this series. It looks like we got the other Wally West, and can't remember her name or his name, their name. Just don't recall. But there's so many speed characters these days. But Speed Force also, you see, B cover. There's a 1 in 25. Yeah, get him if you want them. Same thing with these. We got Dungeons and Dragons. I ordered these because I like D&D type stuff. As you guys could see, got my little dragon and stuff here. But new comic series starting. I know these pop up all the time. They're like short little minis. I got a couple of covers here. There's A, there's a B, and then incentives here, like the Virgin 1 in 25. There's also a black and white copy as well. Again, not selling for anything crazy, so you don't have to go chasing these things. These are the types of things I like finding later down the line, like those IDW, like 1 in 10s and things like that, because, well, they're not easy to find, and they're just kind of fun when you do dig them out for cheap. Because again, you don't want to pay ratio prices for a lot of this stuff because it's just not going to maintain. It's not going to hold the value because the demand's just not going to be there over time. For most things, I'm just being honest. You see it, I'm not saying anything so crazy, but it is what happens. I mean, realistically, out of all the books that come out every week, how many of them actually increase, if not even just maintain their value, and don't just end up as fodder in like dollar bins and discount boxes? The percentage is pretty small when you really think about it. Percentage is smaller than you want to admit, but that's why I like collecting and reading comics. It's not all about, trying to flip a book and make money. But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Just remember, there are ancillary benefits to having a comic book in hand beyond how much it's worth. Read the goddamn thing. Enjoy the story. That said, Wheel of Time. I still have to go and catch season 2 of the show on Amazon Prime. I did enjoy the first season. It took me a while to get through it. I'll admit it was a little bit of a slog at times, but overall, I did enjoy it. And I'll go check out this season 2, see where they're going to go with it, because I don't know a lot of the story from Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series. So I didn't read those novels, so I don't know where the story completely goes. So it's still kind of a surprise to me, where these twists and turns, etc. So book 2 here in comic book form starts this week from Dynamite. So since it's Dynamite, you can guess, yeah, there are going to be other covers as well, including a photo cover if you're into that kind of thing. And they have 1 in 10s. And when I say 1 in 10s, all 3 covers here all have Virgin versions, and they're all 1 in 10s. So if you want them, go for it. I don't know. Yeah, it's an option, I guess. Speaking of these lower ratio incentives, we are getting something out of IDW again. Godzilla Rivals, Mechagodzilla. Who doesn't enjoy a good Mechagodzilla story, right? So we got this coming out along with a couple of other covers, including a 1 in 10 incentive as well. There's also and these are things you should also keep in mind when you're out there shopping. IDW also has a store exclusive. So from the IDW store directly from their website, they have another cover that's exclusive to there. They do this all the time. A lot of publishers do, and you can get them for cheaper than you think. Don't just do all your shopping on eBay. You say, "Oh, what is this cover? Oh man, they want $50 for it." Oh, you know what? You can go to the publisher site and get it for 12. Just look around. Do a Google search. It's not that hard. I mean, you'll be surprised what you can find. That said, another new title coming out this week. IDW is giving us Ministry of Compliance. Don't know much about this one either. John Ridley's got a new series, so interesting look here. Looks like some sort of futuristic sci-fi thing. Again, multiple covers. It is IDW, so we are getting couple of covers. Surprisingly, some high ratio incentives. I'm more of a 1 in 10 guy when it comes to IDW, but they decided to give us 1 in 50s, 1 in 75s, and 1 in 100 virgin versions of these covers. Uh, yeah, not doing too much anyway. There's not a lot available. I think I only found the 1 in 50 right around ratio. Didn't see any copies listed or sold of the 75 or 100 yet. So we'll see what happens. But in addition to these, they didn't quite fit the narrative and how I wanted to transition from the trade dress to the virgins. But there is also another regular price cover variant as well as 1 in 25 here that don't follow that same virgin to trade dress scenario as the other ones did. So you got these options as well. All right. Announcements at New York Comic Con that they're gonna have this little shared corner of the universe there. What was it, Ghost Machine? So Geiger has a new series starting with Geiger Ground Zero. Yeah, so new number one, couple of covers here. This is cover A. There's also gonna be a B and a 1 in 25. So yeah. I read the first issue of Geiger, enjoyed it, but I didn't finish the series. So I gotta go back, check out the rest, see if I want to carry on with this Jeff Johns run because I do still like Jeff Johns. The Green Lantern run is still one of my favorites from back in the day. So we'll see. I'll give this a try. And plus Gary Frank. Gary Frank's underrated. I like his art, his storytelling. Like it's not all just about the covers. Like it's the actual storytelling inside the books. Has been top notch for a long time now, I would say. But that's just what I think. Anyway, not really a number one, but in the same vein, because it's an introduction to a character, we're getting this issue 0 Dutch from Image Comics as well. Joe Casey is giving us this. Well, I don't know if this is like another death blow or what, but character's called Dutch. Can't tell a lot from this first cover, except there might be a lot of blood. But there are a couple of variants which harken back to those glory days of the 90s. Here we go. 1 in 15 and a 1 in 25. Now, the 1 in 15 looks like Liefeld nonsense of the old days. And this is an Ian Churchill cover, and he was kind of a Liefeld clone a lot on his art. I think he picked up a lot of the X-Force and whatnot. And then the 1 in 25 is kind of fun because it's drawn actually on like lined notebook paper. So it does look a little exaggerated. It's kind of fun, but I don't know. I don't think this is still for me either. Plus, when you look at his leg, like those muscles in the leg, it looks suspiciously like something else. I know you see it. You'll see it when you see it, and then you won't be able to unsee it. But anyway, Liefeld nonsense, which will lead us into our little next quick segment. WTF. That's right. This is the section where I don't get it. I don't know. But here we go. Mentioning Liefeld, even though he didn't do the other cover. It was Churchill. But here is a Liefeld cover for you if you want it. Cap and Deadpool. I didn't realize Deadpool was so tiny. Did you? Like, he looks smaller than Wolverine. Because look how big Cap is. Because Cap is behind him. Also, why is Cap's torso so long? I don't know. Things just don't seem to match up. Oh, like, I don't know. You just look at it and it just defies logic to me. But hey, I know there are fans. I'm just not one of them. That said, get it if you want it. We also have another action figure cover. I'm not going to go in a whole nother diatribe on this, but if you want it, go for it. But you're not getting me to spend money on these things. It's just a picture of a toy, man. Just get a toy magazine instead, or just go online and look at the toy. I don't know. Like, I just don't see the need for this. But I get it. People like to collect weird things, and I'm not going to fault you for it. It's just saying it's just not for me. So that's why I have it in this section. Granted, there's only one this week. I'm sure there'll be a couple of more. And yeah, Batman and Robin number 3, which gives you this Robin cover. And then in addition to this, oh shoot, I didn't change the top of this one. It is not a cover price book. This is actually a 1 in 50. Yeah. Ratio incentive. This thing. I know. Again, a lot of you guys collected those chibi head covers that Rose Besh did. That's fine, but I can't even say that's what this is. Like, look at Batman. It's just kind of weirding me out. Is he on fire? What's with the glow? Or I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't care for it. And I'm not paying the price that this would end up costing, which I think is the ratio or less. It's still not for me, but that's why it's in the WTF section. So, with that said, let's move on to another section. Got to keep this moving. Homages. So, not many here, only a couple. I do like covering these. This week, we only have two, I think. We have Alpha Flight. So, the new issue of Alpha Flight harkens back to that high evolutionary cover on Avengers Annual number 17. Yeah, pretty cool, right? And then also pretty cool indie book. Actually, I think it's Boom. Is it Boom? I don't know. I can't remember. It's Boom or Scout. It's one of the smaller publishers. It's not one of the big three. But the Prism number 2 has this pretty awesome album cover homage. I'll give you guys a second to see if you can figure out what album this is. But tick tock, time's up. It's Bowie. I dig David Bowie, so I like this. Kind of fun, right? And it's pretty good rendition there on the cover to the actual album cover, even with the trade dress matching the text on that album cover. All right, this week I said we were going to do these as we go through the weeks. The Mike Diodato artist spotlights. We only have one. We only got one of these this week. So here's your Diodato variant on Green Lantern. This is the only Green Lantern I'm showing you this week because the other covers were just kind of meh. They're okay, but pretty fun. Diodato looks like he's been through a fight, little scrap. Kind of like it. Like the bright green background, makes it pop. But that's our only Diodato artist spotlight this week. So there you go. Also, not a lot of later prints. In fact, I only found one worth mentioning, and that is Invincible Iron Man number 10, The Wedding. So it looks like we got some weird design cover here on the regular. Fine. And then the 1 in 25, because Marvel has to give us a 1 in 25, is just the connecting covers flipped on their side. I do not care for that. I think that is not a good thing. Just do a wraparound or something, man. Don't gatefold even. This sideways business, I don't like it. And with that, I also didn't see any pre-sales or up for sale. Like there's none available yet for this. I don't know if this got pushed back maybe, and I was misreading what's coming out, but we'll see. But as of right now, no crazy high FOMO prices on this one. We'll see if it happens like those other 1 in 25-second prints. But we can hope that maybe that era is dying off. Maybe. Hope. All right. Last couple of segments going to be cover related for the most part, starting off with covers. So let's get into the covers. I've already been doing this for half an hour, so try to wrap this up as best as I can. Covers I like this week, Spawn. I think this is a Dan Panosian. You got, I guess this is Cygor, unless it's another huge gorilla. I think it's a Dan Panosian, but I dig it. It's very detailed. I like all the line work there. And you also get Bjorn Barons on the B cover. Somebody else has been killing it lately. I don't know. A lot of the covers that have been catching my eye the last couple of months have been Barons and Panosians. Just saying. Not to slight, Tula Lote's got a pretty awesome The Cull cover here on issue 4. I don't know. I think this might be like a B cover. I don't know if this was the cover A or like a B cover. As far as I remember, it's not an incentive, but it is one that you can get. It's pretty cool. It's almost like photorealistic. I dig it. Thought about put this in the reading section because I am still kind of following it and kind of reading it. That would be Blade. But I actually just really like this cover. And, I will give it a read too. But Blade number 5, I like with the throne. Again, I'm a sucker for a good throne cover. And then you got the perspective of, Blade with the bloody swords and just the legs. I dig it. I like the whole framework. If it only wasn't ruined by that damn Marvel's advertisement at the top. And another Marvel book ruined by that stupid banner across the top. It's gorgeous. Alex Ross Doom. Doom riding a dinosaur. This thing would be awesome if not for that stupid ass banner across the top. And this would be a case where if Marvel had decided to give me a 1 in 100 virgin version, I might have thought long and hard about it. Man, long and hard. Anyway, because that just looks really cool. It's just a cool image. I dig it. In addition to this, Fantastic Four number 13 also has a pretty awesome Art Adams 1 in 25 of Galactus. It looks kind of similar to that 1 in 50 he did on Ultimates 1 way back in like 2016, but pretty fun. Pretty fun Art Adams here on what is it, FF13. So keep this in mind as well. It is pre-selling for a little bit more. So over ratio here, we're looking at anywhere from around $50 to around ratio for those early pre-sales, but the available copies left over right now are all looking for like $50. This seems like one that I'm probably expecting to see like half a dozen sales right around that $40 to $50 kind of mark come the end of the week. And will that be enough to make the list? I don't know, but this one has potential, I think, to sneak in there just based off of the early returns and what I can see on the market right now. Just guessing. Again, I'll show you everything I put into it and where the numbers come from, so you can make a call for yourself and debate it all you want with me, and I'll have a conversation. But for now, one worth watching. Along with this, I told you, Bjorn Barron's been killing it lately, and you saw how much Ghost Rider 17 is still doing. I don't think it's because of Hell of Rain. I think it's just the gorgeous cover art. This one ain't bad either. So issue 20, Spirit Rider, pretty cool. There's a couple other good covers here as well. I think the B and the C, there's like a Moon Knight, I think. Also, I probably should have shown them, but I just kind of was trying to narrow this thing down and try to wrap us up so we weren't going an hour like these shows have been pushing lately. But there is a 1 in 25. I think it's an Elizabeth Torque cover. Also like this quite a bit. I dig it. I like it. Keeping an eye out for it. It is not doing much yet, but hey, who knows? Pre-sale right around ratio. Asking price, well, around $30 to $60. So they're seeking a little bit more. But we'll see if this actually gets that price or not. I dig it. I think it's a pretty cool cover. I like the look of the Ghost Rider there with that skull. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. And then I think one more in this cover set that we can look at is the spine-tingling Spider-Man #1. Got that creepy kind of skull. This looks like those covers that Astro Wizard has done with the those face like headshot covers, and he did the skulls. I got a couple of them, gave one away here on the channel. This reminds me of that, but Astro did it first, so maybe they're ripping off. Maybe they're ripping you off, Astro. Just saying. Still like it because I like it. I like the idea when you did it. I like the idea here. So pretty cool cover there on Spine Tingling Spider-Man. I think #2, and there is an incentive, and it is a Bjorn Barron's cover. I like it. I like it. Creepy house on the hill behind there. A lot of spiders crawling around. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. Again, not doing a ton yet on this one. I found a pre-sale right around ratio at about $30, and then asking price, yeah, that kind of $35 range. So it's looking for a little more than that 1 in 25, but we'll see if it gets it or not. There's a lot of competition this week, as you already saw, and we still got more to go through. A couple of more segments. Maybe we get this done in 45 minutes. We're not wrapping up with this one this week. We're doing it next. Cheesecake covers. So Cheesecake covers next. You guys know what these are by now. Guilty pleasure type covers. You know, started off with a Supergirl. Supergirl, not bad. I dig this. $6. It's on Lost Superman or Superman Lost #9. Yeah, it's all right. The eyes are a little wonky with the reflection there, but still pretty cool cover. I felt like I had to give DC some representation. There was no Poison Ivy or Catwoman that we could have put in here, so found a Supergirl that could fit our Cheesecake cover needs. But you know what else is here? Dynamite is definitely here. And with it, we have Red Sonja coming in with multiple covers. Perillo, Bjorn Barron's, pretty awesome there. A Linzer. And then we got an old school Jenny Frison as well. So this is a callback. That's from the old Red Sonja run. They've been doing these kind of like classic covers, put the border on it. I think there might be 1 in 10s or some weird low ratio incentive. I have the original. Don't get the original too, but still want to note that these are out there. Also, not surprisingly, making the Cheesecake list is a Zenescope with not a Grim Fairy Tales. This is Lovecraft Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, pretty cool, right? I mean, it's kind of fun. I don't know who that dude is kind of creeping behind her. She's reading in her nightie, but some other cool covers here as well. Get some hentai vibes on the other two, but it is Cthulhu, so that's where you're going to get a lot of those the tentacle kind of action going. So keep that in mind as well. But regardless, nice covers across the board here. I like all three of these. Granted, I can't be buying all these just because I don't even know what the guts of these books are. Like these are like cover buys. So the story inside is kind of really secondary. But another fun one, 1 in 5 incentive here on Street Fighter, the Evolution Special. Get kind of a, little rare action, going there. Yeah, pretty fun, pretty cool. I like it. This one, it's a 1 in 5. So it's a very, very low ratio incentive, but a lot of shops still might not qualify for it because they might even order this book at all. Or if they do, they might just order 1 or 2 copies. None have sold, pre-sold just as of yet. There's one listed, looking for only $7, but it's out of the UK, so us US buyers would have to spend about $20 shipping. So maybe not. Maybe not. But you can probably find this somewhere. It's only 1 in 5. And lastly, in our cheesecake section, we do have this Greg Land. Greg Land loves showing up in this segment. 1 in 25 on Dark X-Men number 4. Not doing a whole heck of a lot as far as the early sales go. I mean, you can see 18, 18, 33. So there's copies under that 1 in 25 ratio and some copies over. Available copies, well, I can only find an $18 one, again, out of the UK, and then a $7, or actually $8 one at auction. So we'll see where that one ends up. It's kind of a fun cover. You got Goblin Queen, Madeline Pryor, Greg Land. I like all 3 of those things, but we'll see where the price goes. Finally, our final segment, so we can wrap this up. My voice is getting a little tired. Incentives. Incentive covers. So, specifically for this week, I only got a couple of Star Wars books for you because I kind of covered a bunch in the other sections. But here's a regular Dark Droids number 4, just because I like this cover as well. But what's drawing my attention and something to keep an eye on are the incentives for this Dark Droids number 4, including the 1 in 50 here. We got this, I can't remember this droid's name, but the 1 in 50, $65, one pre-sale about a month ago, and then asking prices $65, $75, $120. We'll see. This is not the highest ratio. There is, it being Star Wars, a virgin version of a trade dress. What's his name? The bounty hunter. Can't think. Why am I? I'm drawing a blank. Here's a V. Anyway, Valance. So Valance. Again, I'm just sitting here doing this off the cuff. So I knew this stuff going in, but I have no script. There's nothing memorized. I didn't do a dry run. Just me going over the books that I liked. That's it. Valance. Virgin cover here. 1 in 100. Whew, getting tired of these. Getting tired of them, but they're still there. $135. One sold about a week ago. Asking prices $180, $220, $250. But we've seen this before. Not many of these hold. So be mindful of that. Outside the box, though, we got another Star Wars book. We have Peach Momoko's Star Wars Visions. Regular trade dress here. So if you like, again, don't take my Ultimate X-Men worries on Peach doing that series as an admonishment of all of her art. I am not a Peach Momoko hater. I do not like a lot of her art, but I do like a lot of it as well. So it's kind of a hit and miss situation for me personally. This one's not that bad. But this is a trade dress for the Visions number 1. There is a virgin version of it that is a 1 in 100. Yeah, it's okay, but man, can't be paying these prices. And here they are with the prices. About 120, around a ratio at $100. Asking prices, 135, 160, $300. We'll see what this does. But again, just be mindful that a lot of these don't maintain these early FOMO ratio prices. But it is a decent cover. But again, the winner for me, for this book at least, is the 1 in 25. I dig this. This is a I'm drawing a blank on his name. It'll be here in a second. Anyway, 1 in 25 on that Star Wars Visions. He did the other books to Takashi Okazaki. Man. Sorry, just drawing a blank. Again, it's a long afternoon. But this one, $25, $30, $40 early pre-sales, asking prices in that $40 to $50 range. That's kind of where I expect these to kind of stay. They showed this one a while ago, so there were a lot of early buzz on this one as well for this 1 in 25. But hopefully you got one. I don't think I ordered this one, but I'd like to get one right around ratio. But I'm not going to break my bank to obtain one. It's okay, but I like it just better than the 1 in 100 anyway, at least. So there it is. And with that, that is all of them. That is all the books that I have for you this week. Hopefully you found this rundown helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed, some of the things that I brought up, showed you some stuff that you might not have been aware of, maybe talked you out of spending money on things you don't need to spend money on. I don't know, whatever. Let me know what you think, if this was helpful at all in the comment section down below. Thanks for stopping by and checking this out. I will be trying to do a Chasing Ghosts for tomorrow. Also going to try to do an article to support it as well over on comicbookinvest.com. And make sure you come back on Wednesday for the tax show, as we will have another list of some fun old hot 10 books for us to decide whether if now is the time to buy or not on our budgets, and see how we do with our portfolio the rest of the month. We tracked our early buys. It's just kind of fun. It's engaging for, with you guys in the chat. So come join us, have some fun talking about books, and talking comics and having fun. And you guys know the rest of the schedule as well. So with that, I'll see you all later with some more content. Okay.